During the 2024 WNBA season, some players showed bad sportsmanship. While the games were intense and full of talent, a few players tried to bully Caitlin Clark, but it didn't go their way. So, who were these players, and how did their actions backfire? Caitlin Clark, the rookie star for the Indiana Fever, entered the league with her record-breaking NCAA skills, but she also became a big target. Some players got too physical with her, trying to push her around, but it didn't work out for them. Things really started to get messy when Kennedy Carter got involved. Would you like me to continue with the rest of the script in this style? Carter, a guard for the Chicago Sky, was the first to get major attention. On June 1, 2024, during a heated game against the Fever, she didn't just play tough, she made a bold move. Before the ball was even in play, Carter suddenly slammed her shoulder into Caitlin Clark, knocking her to the ground. It was a clear, cheap shot. At first, the referees called it a regular foul, but after watching the video again, the league changed it to a flagrant foul, meaning it was too rough and unnecessary. But things didn't stop there. Even though the WNBA didn't fine or suspend Carter, the public reaction was harsh. Social media exploded with criticism, and some fans went too far, sending her hateful messages. A few days later, she and her team were even met with anger at their hotel, showing how fast fan energy can turn negative. Meanwhile, Clark stayed calm and said, "That's not a basketball play, but I have to keep playing." Carter's plan to rattle the rookie backfired. Instead of looking strong, she became the villain. And the craziest part? This all really happened. And just when you think it can't get more intense, next comes Angel Reese. Want me to simplify the next part about Angel Reese too? On June 16th, another rookie from the Chicago Sky, Angel Reese, took her turn. Known for her tough college rivalry with Caitlin Clark, Reese brought that same intensity to the WNBA. As Clark drove to the basket for a layup, Reese jumped to block it, but ended up hitting Clark hard in the head instead. The referees reviewed the play and gave Reese a flagrant one for excessive contact. Reese shrugged it off, saying it was just a basketball play, but the consequences came quickly. The WNBA fined her $1,000 not for the foul itself, but because she skipped her post-game media duties. Her team, the Chicago Sky, also got fined $5,000 for not making sure she followed league rules. But here's where things took a surprising turn. That one foul didn't just cause a debate, it turned into a huge controversy. Online trolls flooded social media with racist and sexist hate aimed at Reese, turning it into something much bigger than basketball. The rivalry between Clark and Reese, sparked by their heated 2023 NCAA championship game, became a national topic again. Reese found herself at the center of a storm that went far beyond sports, touching on race, privilege, and the tough style of play in the WNBA. And just when you think it couldn't get any crazier, here comes DeJoni Carrington. In a crucial Game 1 of the 2024 WNBA playoffs, DeJoni Carrington of the Connecticut Sun caused more drama. Only 90 seconds into the game, which the Sun won 93-69 over the Fever, Carrington accidentally poked Clark in the eye while trying to deflect a pass. As Clark passed to Aaliyah Boston, Carrington's hand struck Clark's right eye, leaving her with a black eye and causing her to collapse in pain. Surprisingly, no foul was called. But here's where things get really interesting. Clark, always determined, came back after a timeout and played through 36 tough minutes, even though she only made 4 of 17 shots. She didn't blame the incident, saying, "It wasn't intentional by any means, just watch the play." Carrington supported her, saying, "I don't even know why I would intend to hit anybody in the eye." Despite this, social media exploded. Commentator Jason Whitlock and others wrongly accused Carrington of doing it on purpose, leading to online hate, including racist and violent threats. But here's the twist. Clark stepped in herself, condemning the toxic fans and calling for better safety standards in the WNBA. Before we move on, don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. It really helps us out. Now, let's talk about Michaela Onyenwere. On August 30th, another player from the Chicago Sky, Onyenwere, got involved in the drama. Her aggressive defense on Clark earned her a flagrant 1 foul, adding to a troubling trend. The Sky were now responsible for 4 out of the 7 flagrant fouls called against Clark in 2024, a shocking 57%. There were no fines or suspensions for Onyenwere, but the damage to the Sky's reputation was clear. Even commentator Shannon Sharp pointed out that 17% of all flagrant fouls in the league were directed at just one player, Caitlin Clark. Yet none of this slowed Clark down. In fact, it made her even stronger, a symbol of unbreakable determination. Still, think that's intense? Well, just wait. Even outside of Chicago, players got caught up in the chaos. Ari McDonald of the LA Sparks earned a flagrant 1 for getting too close to Clark as she landed after a 3-point attempt. The foul wasn't intentional, just a mistake in the fast-paced game, but it added to the growing story. Clark was becoming a target. There were no fines or suspensions, but McDonald's name was added to the list of players who tried to challenge Clark and faced more attention than they expected. The list of players who tested Clark just kept growing, and they faced backlash for it. Ari McDonald in particular was so focused on guarding Clark that she didn't even realize she still had a free throw left. But this barely scratches the surface. These weren't just isolated events, they were part of a larger story. A rookie trying to survive and earn respect in a league where nothing is given. Clark wasn't just playing basketball, she was going through a gauntlet. But what happened next? You won't believe it. The players who targeted Clark, Carter, Reese, Carrington, Onyenwere, McDonald, didn't just get flagged or fined. They became cautionary examples in a much bigger story. Take Carter, for instance. Her infamous shoulder check didn't just earn her a flagrant 1 foul, it turned her into a symbol for debates about jealousy, aggression, and sportsmanship in the WNBA. Now, let's rewind to May 25, 2024. In a heated game between the Indiana Fever and the Las Vegas Aces, veteran Alysha Clark found herself at the center of controversy. Late in the game, as Caitlin Clark drove to the basket, Alysha's tough defense caused Clark to crash to the floor. The referees called it a common foul, but Fever fans didn't buy it. Replays showed Alysha's arm making hard contact with Caitlin's upper body, leading many to argue it should have been a flagrant foul. Was Alysha trying to test the rookie? The debate exploded online, but Caitlin, as always, stayed calm and bounced back with 16 points, showing once again how tough she really was. Even though the Fever lost 99-80, Caitlin's resilience was the highlight of the game. Fast forward to late August. The Chicago Sky and Indiana Fever clashed again, and this time, Diamond DeShields became the focus. Known for her intense energy, DeShields charged into Caitlin Clark, sending her crashing to the floor with a hard impact that echoed through the arena. It was too much. The refs changed it to a flagrant 1 after review, and things got wild right away. But here's the twist. It wasn't just the foul call that hit DeShields hard. The real blow came from the backlash after. Fans, media, and critics came at her hard, accusing her of going too far. DeShields suddenly found herself in a tough spot. As for Caitlin Clark, just another bruise added to the list. Ezi Magbagor and the Seattle Storm early in her WNBA career, Clark got thrown straight into the fire. One of her first big challenges came during a game against the Seattle Storm. Ezi Magbagor hit Clark in the head during a fast-paced play, knocking her to the floor. Clark held her face in pain. The refs called it a common foul, but the replay told another story. Social media blew up. Was it just aggressive defense or something more? No flagrant was given, but the internet wasn't so forgiving. Still, Clark got up, shook it off, and on the very next play, hit a deep 3-pointer. Message delivered. Marina Mabry's rough defense back to Chicago again. The Sky just kept testing Clark. This time it was Marina Mabry. Her defense? No smooth moves, just hard, physical play. She stayed on Clark, bumping and pressuring her nonstop. At one point, she body-checked Clark, sending her off balance. The refs called a regular foul, but the video went viral. It added to the Sky's growing reputation for playing Clark rough. But Clark stayed calm. She didn't talk trash, just responded with a perfect assist and a deep 3. All business. Skylar Diggins-Smith gets physical. Then there was May 30th. In a game between the Seattle Storm and Indiana Fever, Skylar Diggins-Smith had a heated moment with Clark. The two got tangled, and Skylar gave her a hard shove that made Clark stumble. The refs called it a common foul, but the replay sparked huge reactions online. Fans said Skylar was targeting the rookie and letting her emotions take over. Clark? She didn't complain. She didn't retaliate. She just played even harder. By the end of the season, she was averaging 15.6 points per game and led her team to the playoffs. She didn't just survive the rough play. She thrived, turning grit into gold. But here's where things really get interesting. All that toughness on the court, it turned into something big off the court. Clark didn't just make buckets, she built a brand. She signed huge endorsement deals with Nike, Gatorade, and State Farm. Her jersey sales broke records. Her social media blew up. She became a cultural icon. And while the players who tried to shake her ended up with fines and backlash, Clark walked away with fame, fortune, and fire. And the craziest part? She's just getting started. If you like this video, hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more WNBA stories and updates. This is only the beginning. Stay tuned.